Bill doesn't say.
There you go.
Okay.
There we go. Well, I don't have a lot of notes here, but I have some. So I had never heard of this movie. I just came across a list of kind of quirky, off the wall type movies, and this was on there. And I like Liam Neeson, I guess. I like at least the first Taken movie. I don't think I saw any of the other ones, but anyway, so I thought I'd choose it. So Nonstop was made in 2014. PG-13 was the rating. Liam Neeson starred as Bill Marks, the air marshal, and Julianne Moore as Jen Summers, a passenger that he met on the plane. It got one nomination for a bizarre thing, a Golden Trailer Award. It was nominated for the best thriller trailer and didn't win. So didn't really win anything. I guess the critics didn't really like it that much, but it made a lot of money. It had a budget of said 28 to 50 million, and it grossed 223 million.
Wow.
So it was a moneymaker.
Cool.
I don't know if any of you Downton Abbey fans noticed Michelle
Yes.
Deckery, yes.
Yes, of course.
one of the stewardesses.
Yep.
The director is nobody I've ever heard of, and I'm not sure I can pronounce his name. It's like Jaume Collet-Serra or something like that. So that's the extent of my notes. I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't 10 out of 10, but it was pretty good.
Had you seen
Had
it
some
before?
gunplay. Sorry?
Had you seen it before?
No, I'd never heard of it before.
So that's a type of
Had
movie.
anybody seen it?
I'd seen it before.
I had not. You've seen everything, Donna. I don't know how you do that, but you've seen
I
it
don't
all.
either. Sometimes.
Uh-huh. You saw it?
Pardon me?
I've seen it on television, on like one of the HBO channels or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's where I saw it too.
Mhm.
Does it strike anybody odd that we're talking about a attempted hijacking in an airplane on September the 11th?
I thought about that today.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Well-
you're right.
And Tom Bowen, his point was that his father, I think, was killed in the 9/11
Right.
things. And so this was his revenge. So very
Yes.
timely, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, end it all out.
Yeah.
I thought good action, some pretty good special effects. The thing that I thought the plot just was lacking in that the reason that guy gave for wanting to do this was I missed the part where his father got killed in the flight or 9/11, but if he wants to make a point about the flaws or gaping holes in the U.S. security system, I find knocking a plane down with 150 innocent people a rather bizarre way to make that point. I thought that little bit of plot was a little weak, but other than that, I mean, it was a good action film. I like action films, so I like that. But when it got down to them conversing in the aisle there, and I guess the IT guy who was trying to fix Liam's phone, he was in it strictly for the money, as was the other federal agent. They just kind of got caught up in this whack job's vendetta. But if you're trying to make a point about U.S. security, I don't know that that's the way to go about making the point. So I thought that little bit of plot was a little weak, but it was a good action film. I liked it.
I
Happy
sort
birthday,
of
Mike.
picked, oh, sorry, Pete.
I just say happy
I
birthday,
picked-
Mohan.
I picked out Tom Bowen at the very beginning, you have to wonder what he's up to when he's standing right next to Bill Marks, and oh, do you have a light for the cigarette and all that? It just seemed very intentional, that he was talking to him. And then Bill Marks practically runs over Zach White going through the security line, and they kind of had a few words between themselves, but I didn't really pick up Zach White as the second person, but Tom Bowen, he was definitely on my radar. And even at times I wondered about Jen Summers too, because she was always lurking about whatever was going on. She was right there. I mean, just as annoying as could be. It's like, go sit down. None of the other passengers are up here in this business, but she was. So I suspected her for a while. I want to know how the captain got poisoned. I know it was with one of those darts, but who did it and how? If they showed it in the movie, I missed it.
Through the bathroom wall.
Yeah, there's that little hole in the wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You could see the cigarette smoke was going somewhere, so he pulled that panel off.
Okay, I saw that
How
part,
did-
but I didn't
how did
realize
that
that's how
happen?
the. To what?
How did he get in to remove the panel to
Yeah.
do that? I know it was written that way.
It was in the script. That's right. That's right. Because that other agent was already dead in there. Bill Marks
Yeah.
had, broke his neck, and I mean, he was done for.
Yeah.
He was part of
With
the plot as well for the money, because it was his briefcase that had the bomb in it, and the cocaine and all
Cocaine bomb, or cocaine bear.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's where the cocaine came from
Yeah. So anyway.
for the bear.
I'm kind of the same ilk. It was a good action film. I told my husband, you'll want to see this one because it's Liam Neeson. So Liam Neeson is kind of notorious for the old guy that it's always a daughter too. The old guy and a daughter, and he's a tough guy. I mean, those are kind of the things that he's, notorious for. And I think that's why he's so popular, because he is kind of older and he's still as tough as any young, and usually goes after the young guys. And it's always a daughter that is, that he adores. For, this one, I think she had died, but, in his other movies, in Taken, it's his daughter. The only thing that bothered me, and again, I took it for what it's worth, action movie, great, but Liam Neeson throughout the entire film, and I can't remember the exact scenes because it's been a couple of weeks till I saw it again for the second time. And he's very plays everything close to the chest. He's very closed, he's very insular. And then there's one point at the film when all of a sudden he opens up and talks about his daughter, and it to me, it was so untrue. It was so inauthentic that a guy that it's throughout the entire film is so, holding everything so close. And then when they are on the brink of finding the problem, he starts talking about his daughter and all this, and not being a good father or something. And it just seemed so wrong time, wrong place. I mean, the idea was fine, but it for me, it just was like, oh, please. That's kind of how I look. But other than that, I thought it was, it was a good action. I love watching him. He's a good actor. I mean, no one, when he was in,
Schindler's List.
Thank you. Just fill in the blank, Mike. Thanks. Yes. Schindler's List. Now that, I mean, he's a phenomenal actor, and I don't think he's given as much credit as he should be, but because he always plays these roles. But yeah, I liked it. I can't, I liked it, and it was a Liam Neeson film that I didn't expect anything more or less from.
Didn't he start opening up though after all the passengers were watching the news on the plane and they were learning about him and his background and all that? I think he
Yes.
felt compelled to tell the other side of the story or hear his
Right. And
word. I mean,
that,
he was
that
trying
part,
to win the passengers back, right? I mean, I think
yeah, I
that's what
agree.
he started
That was,
doing.
you're right. That was necessary, I think, for him to get control of the plane. But it's a small bit, but when I watched it, I just felt it just didn't fall into the character, at least I thought. And I wish I could go back now and say exactly when it was but it's towards the end, and it just feels like there's a time constraint, and he starts talking, and I think the bomb is about to go off, or it all just seemed like this is not the time to do that, and that was my only thing that bothered me a little, but minor.
I always think it's interesting on these movies that take place in one setting, other than the outside of the airport. Everything was in that fuselage, kind of like the what was that Danish movie? The
Boots or Das Boot.
No, the one
Yeah.
that was all in the
yeah, in the 911 room.
911 room, yeah.
Oh,
The phone call thing, yeah.
Yeah,
earlier movie, Donna, we watched this police officer was being punished and was in this room, and this whole thing played out inside this call center.
no, I
Jake
never saw that.
Gyllenhaal's got an American version of it out a year or two ago, but I think it was a Danish movie that we watched. I can't remember for sure. But anyway, these small, I mean, it condenses all the action into such a small confine that I agree with the other comments that it was a good action romp. It wasn't particularly deep on plot or characters, other than especially 13 years at the time after 9/11. It set up the Hindu guy or the Muslim guy and the black smartass and all these characters who you wanted to not like, and then they end up being heroes in the thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I like the who done it part of it. We're all trying to figure out who's the culprit, and he's
Right.
got to be in the
Right.
plane.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did when I saw Scoot McNairy, and then the other guy was Corey Stoll. Those guys both play bad guys. Now Corey Stoll played the cop, that was a good guy in this case, but both of them played bad guys. So I thought, well, there's a bad guy. And then if you look, you can't hardly see in my picture here, but over my shoulder, this is when I first decided the guy is on the plane. He's the one videotaping with his phone. That was Scoot McNairy. And so I thought, I've got him now, I know who he is. But then he wandered around and he went elsewhere and he wasn't always there. And I don't know if that's the same guy or not, really. But that's what
Just
I
a
had fun
random
with.
German teenager.
Yeah, it was just some kid doing it. I
Isn't that
think.
what he was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was not Scoot McNairy, but Scoot McNairy does show up later. But that's where I had the most fun, was trying to figure it all out, and the clock's ticking. It's kind of like who's the old TV guy where he was always trying to beat the bomb. Saturday Night Live used to do
Oh yeah.
MacGyver.
MacGyver. There you go.
Yeah.
MacGyver, right.
bomb is ready. Hey, watch it, chick it down.
That's
It's
right.
it's all B movie stuff, but I think Nielsen is good at this, being a B movie tough guy or whatever it is. So he probably makes a good buck doing this, considering how much the gross was on this deal. So although it wasn't Schindler's List, and he's not going to win an Oscar for it like he did that,
Yeah.
I had fun, and I thought it was a fun little flick. So
This would be curious, Jeff Arthur, to know how many people turned this down. I mean, I could see Bruce Willis that
Mhm.
could have substituted.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see anything. I just kind of gleaned through the wiki stuff and I didn't see anything about
Yeah.
other actors. But
Yeah.
Seemed perfect for Liam Neeson to me.
Yeah,
from what
yeah,
he's
I think
doing.
so too. I think that's his niche, is older guy that's tough, tough older guy, and it kind
he's
of
got issues.
resonates, I think, with a lot of us.
He's
It had,
grizzled
it
and he's
had
pissed
Gary's,
off.
it had Gary's character arc.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Sort of.
Well, he ends up being the hero after being the drunk and when he parks
Yeah.
his car.
Yeah.
he's- Yeah.
Mhm.
Does anybody ever get any jaded by all the formulas? I mean, it's it's formulaic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
Okay,
That's
he's
Hollywood.
the out of he's the older cop and he's messed
Yeah.
up. And I don't know if he was
Mhm.
drinking or not, and da 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 da, and
oh, he was
the
pouring
tick-
it in
the-
his coffee.
the ticking bomb, and oh my God, it's just like formula. Like my friend Heather, who used to be a acting coach in LA. She goes, there's only 5 plots in movies. I mean, look, there's every movie you can watch fits into one of 5 categories. And it's like,
Right.
but the formula is like, when's somebody gonna make a movie that doesn't that like breaks the formula, So, and of course they're trying to, they're making you try to guess who it is, which is what keeps you watching the movie. And of course, they're going to make people look suspicious.
Well, this
And
this
then-
even had the boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl back.
Right. Arab is
Exactly.
not a bad guy. He's the hero,
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, it makes for interesting, entertainment and whatever, but it is such a formula. And I want to throw out, I have no idea. What does the title refer to?
It was a nonstop flight.
Nonstop.
Nonstop flight.
Oh,
Right.
so what? So it's a
So you got
nonstop
2
flight.
hours
That has
to
nothing
make
to
all this
do
stuff happen.
with the theme of the
Well,
fucking movie.
Yeah.
They're not going to
Or-
stop and say we gotta change planes in Cincinnati. Sorry.
Yeah,
We'll
we've
be
got
right
a
back,
bomb
folks.
on this. Yeah.
We're gonna have an
The,
intermission.
uh,
Go get some
the-
popcorn. Yeah,
The
They could
action
have called it 20
nonstop.
minutes and they're dead.
there you go.
The
Nonstop
suspense
action.
was nonstop.
Okay.
Well, I had just watched Hijacked from Apple, which was like a 7-part series.
Uh-huh.
So I was like up to here with hijack movies, but it was that was a completely different thing where Idris Elba was like a counselor, sort of negotiator guy, and he was on this plane and he was watching this whole thing unfold, and then how they got the different people inside there to interact with each other was from a completely different angle. But the idea of a certain time frame, and they were passing over different parts of the Middle East and Europe, and they were chased by fighter planes and other stuff like that. There are some definite things, and the fact that the flight has a finite duration, even without the bomb, adds a time frame to it automatically, so that they can build the tension in with that. I agree with Terry that there's a lot of formula that goes into these things. Sometimes the different angles and the different personalities of the different people on the plane, the ability to introduce biases or wrong biases and things like that seems to be a common thread as well. But it was interesting to kind of watch the two next to each other. So I don't know if anybody else has watched that series, but it's decent.
What's it on?
I had that one on my list, but then when this came up, I thought, well, now I don't have to watch it.
Same idea, yeah.
There was a series called Departure, which was about planes that had crashed, and it was the investigative end of it, which I thought was really good. And that's a series too, but it takes it from the investigation of the plane and what happens and how they get to, why the plane went down, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a pretty good series if you're interested in that kind of, plane, investigation thing. It's good. So I guess one of my recommendations would be that. But I didn't see Hijacked because I had watched Departure. And like you, Jeff, I was like, okay, enough with the planes going down. I don't want to see anymore. So.
I
but,
liked a couple of the ingenious little ploys that they did where he came out and he said, I'm gonna call this number and you keep an eye on all the passengers to see who
yeah.
I thought that was kind of clever there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the little things. I think that's the deal on 5 different plots or 5 different stories is how ingenious can they make that work? I mean, I agree that, there probably is only 5 different types of plots.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say for books and movies and everything. I think it's, you probably know man versus nature, man versus technology, what are the other,
Macbeth,
yeah.
Boy Meets Girl.
Romeo and
Yeah,
Juliet.
well, yeah.
Girl.
You know what they ought to
And,
do? They ought to start making movies based on comic book characters. I bet that would really be.
There you go.
Oh, hey,
Wow.
what
That's
an
a-
ingenious idea.
That's an
Popped into my
untapped
head
line.
just now.
Could you do that with like Barbie, even though she's not a cartoon character?
I
No,
like
that would
the
never work.
Marvel.
That would never work.
That would
Never
never.
work. Nah, no one will buy it.
I think there's 5 plots and they're all written by 88 monkeys with typewriters that just bang until they come up with
Be replaced by AI.
Yeah, exactly.
These monkeys will go on strike.
Well, I mean, Liam Neeson, he's been at least 2 characters. He was Darkman. I think that's where I first saw him, was in Darkman, and I thought, and that was way before Schindler's List. And I went and saw that with my son, and we both left that going, that guy's great. It was a really good movie. And then he played the Star Wars guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And like the third one.
Yeah, he was in like 3,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
at least 2 Star Wars movies.
He was in Gangs of New York. That was kind of a departure from this standard type role.
Yeah, I
that he
never
played.
saw that one. Yeah.
You never seen Gangs of New York? Oh,
No.
that's a good one. For
I
somebody,
know.
oh, that's one you shouldn't have missed.
Hey, what is he? What is he in Gangs of New York?
He's Leonardo DiCaprio's dad.
Oh, okay. All right. I forget that.
Wow.
Another tough guy.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any other movies that Liam Neeson's been in that you guys have especially liked?
The movie where the plane crashes and they're hunted by a pack of wolves. I thought that was pretty good. Out a few years ago.
I don't
They're like
remember
oil
that.
workers or something, and
You're just
I like
making
the
that up.
the one about what happened on New Year's Day in Ireland. Remember that one, you guys?
New Year's Day.
What was that famous guy's name? Remember the New Year's Day, whatever, Michael something or
Michael
other?
Collins?
Michael Collins.
I
Oh,
think
Michael
so. Wasn't that the name of the
Collins,
movie?
yes.
And
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yes,
Liam
that's right.
Neeson.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was really good.
See, I liked him. Of course, you guys all hate this. I liked him in Love Actually. Do you remember his little vignette with his little boy and his wife died? Never mind.
My wife brought that one up actually, Donna.
Oh, you did?
Like yeah. The Gray is the movie I'm referring to with the wolves. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yes.
I think I have seen Love Actually though too.
Oh, that's one. It's like a classic Christmas movie now, pretty much. I mean, you'll see it every Christmas. They play it. Maria Carey's, that song. what's the name of that song? Someone fill in the blank, Mariah Carey. What I want for Christmas
Oh,
is
Mariah.
Mariah Carey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where it's from, that's where the song is from. But anyway.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's got quite
I
the
think he's
filmography, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, I think he's done a lot of Shakespeare, hasn't he? Shakespeare. And didn't he go to the Royal Academy in London or Ireland of acting? I thought so, but I might be off.
What it says here. Oops.
But anyway, he's just good, bottom line. He's just good. And his wife did die. That was kind of sad.
Yeah.
She was the
Natasha
actress.
Richardson?
Yeah, Natasha. Yeah.
Was she an actress, wasn't she?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was really good. She's been in a number of things too.
He was Helen Mirren was his partner from 1980 to 1985.
Oh.
I'll be
Well, I was like watching Julianne Moore too.
Yeah.
It's kind of a treat to watch. She's pretty good.
she's a good
She's
actor.
always good. Yeah. She's very good.
She wasn't as evil as she sometimes is.
But you're right,
I like
Chris.
the
She was
Boogie
just
Nights.
obnoxious in this thing where she would not quit whining about everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, she was all up in everybody's business. It's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
found her very, very annoying.
And since she has had some, villainous movies, I thought for a time she might be one of the conspirators, but
Yeah,
she was
I did
so
too.
obvious that I ruled her out after a while.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing about formulas, is that if it's obvious, if they're making it obvious that this person is bad, they're not the person.
There you go.
It's too obvious. No, it can't be them.
Hmm.
He's 71 and still making like all kinds of movies.
I know. That's what I mean.
And he's
It's,
6'4". That's pretty big.
Hey, Jeff, we're all 71.
No, we're not. I'm
Hey,
No, we're
69.
not.
Don't talk
I'm
like
still in my
he's
60s. So
Whoa.
I'll be 60 in 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Happy birthday.
Another September
Yes, sir.
birthday.
So, Mike, are you 71 now?
No, I'm 70.
Well, that's good.
But we're close, Bill.
70.
We're
Bill,
close to
our
70.
classes, we're all 70 in our class.
Okay.
not me. I'm in your class and I'm 69.
Well, your birthday must
Will you be
coming up
70?
It'll be in October.
Oh.
There you go.
I'm one of the
Another
last.
month.
I'm one of the last. I think Linda, gosh, I can't remember her name, but she's also October, and I think she's after me. So she's probably the youngest.
Okay.
Linda Thompson, I can't remember her name now. She's hyphenated, Thompson Turig or something like that.
Oh, wait.
All right, well, who picks next time?
I don't know.
That would be Bill, I guess, if we go
Yeah.
alphabetical, right?
Or Terry.
Or Terry.
Oh, I'm unprepared. Although if I can think about it for a little while.
I mean, I've had one just in case.
Yeah.
Go
You
ahead,
guys can
Bill.
switch places.
I'll skip my turn. That's fine.
Okay. Well, let me look it up.
Oh no, you got to come back next week.
Yeah, but you're up next week.
You're
Okay.
up next week, Tara. Okay.
All right. Give me a week to think about my
None of
choice.
this
Yeah.
skipping your turn
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
Tough crowd.
Into your list of movies that are about painters.
Well, maybe we'll see.
Time will tell. Okay,
I
so
might move to musicians.
Okay.
I said I might move to movies about musicians. Elton John, you know.
Amadeus.
Leonard
Weird Al.
Bernstein's coming out. Yeah.
That sounds like a hint. Before I say this one, I just want to make sure how available it is. So talk amongst yourself.
Give us some time.
Well, I wonder if Bill will find out whether or not it's available. What do you think?
I got it. The Big Year was a good movie. Discussed.
And
Yeah.
next topic.
So Madison, where are you? I know you're camping in your Southwest vacation. So where are you today?
Santa Fe.
Okay.
We got Santa Fe last night. We'll be here till Friday, here for 5 nights, and we're going to Farmington.
What's the weather
New
like in
Mexico.
Santa Fe, Mike?
Well, it's raining like hell about 10 minutes ago.
Really? Huh.
It's 70 degrees, 72.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Speaking of New Mexico, I finally saw Oppenheimer yesterday.
How'd you like it?
I thought it was long. I thought it could have been tighter.
Very long.
It was a good story. I've read American Prometheus. I know where it was going. I thought it could have been tighter, but I enjoyed the story.
Agree.
And Robert Downey Jr. really steals the show, doesn't he?
Oh, he was amazing.
Yeah.
But
Actually,
so was
don't even
Murphy.
touch him.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. That's what was so amazing. Oh,
The first couple of times he was on screen, I thought, okay, who's this guy? And then, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's about his third time on before you recognize it's him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who are we talking about?
I agree.
Uh,
Robert
who?
Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, okay.
In Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Did anybody see Barbie yet? No, you guys? None of you?
Nope.
Just me and you.
Jeez. Well,
I may go
okay.
tomorrow if I can
It's
get in
actually
for 5
fun. It's actually a lot better than you think it's going to be, believe it or
I may
not.
go never.
I'll bet you're surprised when you see it. You'll be surprised.
I'm waiting for it to come out on black and white television.
Yeah. I'm gonna need your
Mike,
Mike.
didn't
I'm
you
gonna need
think-
your Romanian library card to get this one.
All right. So the movie that I've picked for next week is, I haven't seen it, but I know it was in for an Academy Award. I think it won Academy Award. It's called Spotlight.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a really
What's
good
it
one.
on? Since you put it up.
It's on, I mean, it's on Prime. It's also available on Max. And it's
Okay.
available on some other,
Yeah.
other places too. Max is
What year is it?
2015.
Oh. Yeah.
It's about the cover up. Cover
In
up sexual abuse.
Boston. Is it Boston?
Yeah, the Boston
Catholic Church.
Boston newspaper has that article called Spotlight. It's an old magazine, and it's investigative journalism. So it's really good.
Yeah, I've wanted to see it for a long time. Plus, I love Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton is great in it.
Yeah.
They're all good. They're all good.
The Hulk is in it.
Hmm.
The Hulk.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he's really good in it.
So I started watching the PBS show that is about Northern Ireland, or about Ireland, all of Ireland.
Once Upon a Time in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know this.
5 parts. It's excellent.
Have you seen it all, Pete?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Just recently, or?
Yeah, in the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
My wife's been watching.
Wow.
So it's real good. I started last night and looking forward to watching the rest of it.
I thought it was 3 parts.
No.
So there are
It's
two more?
It's five, but you can't binge. They were releasing it. Lauren told me about it. My daughter, she thought it was just two parts. Like, and so when I went to watch the two, it started going to a third part, and then I got on IMDb or something, saw that there's five parts total in that, Mike.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're now all out, so you could binge it if you wanted to now.
Good,
Starts in 1921, right? When
probably.
you say that's pretty much when it starts, Pete. I mean, they maybe go
Well,
back
I mean,
a little pre that, but they
I mean, really kind of the meat of it starts just the troubles in the 70s, and then
Yeah.
it's good. It's powerful.
Now the one I saw, or the one I'm thinking about, I thought exclusively started in the late '60s with the Troubles, and didn't deal much with the Irish Civil War or the Easter Rising or any of that at all. So maybe we're talking about two different.
I think, are you talking the one with Kenneth Branagh? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, the one I'm talking about first aired on PBS probably 4 weeks ago. No later than that, and it was a three-part, and basically there's very little narration. They're just flipping talking heads between the Republicans and the Unionists in Ulster.
it sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, Mike, I think we're talking the same thing, but I think you might be in for a treat. There's two more parts to this thing.
Yeah,
it kind of ends with the Good
Friday
Friday,
agreement.
and then it kind of goes back to everybody today, and kind of gets a retrospective. It has them think back about what do they think about their role then. What do they think about what they did, today? And the theme that comes through is like, let's move on, forgiveness, that type of thing. But it's five parts. It's five parts.
Good. All right.
Yeah. Well,
Good.
Bill, interesting segue to your pick for a movie. I just watched this 2 nights ago, and I'm still pissed off about it. On Netflix, it's called, I don't know if any of you people were in scouting. I was. And there's a thing on
Yes.
Netflix called Scouts Honor, which pissed me off like you cannot believe, talking about a cover up at the highest levels of the Boy Scout organization. It was something else. I think that's 2 parts. I believe. No, I'm not.
No.
It's just one doc. It's like a minute, hour 40, something like that. But it's something.
Huh.
I got
No
to
wonder I
wrap up
didn't
some of my series, and so now they're available. So if anybody wants to watch Special Ops Lioness,
Oh,
which
I
is-
saw. Yes, that's wonderful.
you can watch all of them now.
Yeah, I saw.
Justified Primeval, you can watch all of them now. And Full Circle, which is a Sonnenberg mystery murder thing that's really good. I think it's
What's it
3 or
called again,
4.
Mike?
Full Circle.
Full Circle. Okay.
And it's one of those where it's got lots of red herrings and things change so quickly. It's involving a kidnapping that goes awry, and then they're trying to still collect their money, but then also somebody else is trying to save the kid. So anyway, all of those, and then I've also got a Molly Ivins documentary called Raise Hell, which is from 2019, that I'd like to recommend. And here's a good one: Desperate Souls, Dark City, and the Legend of Midnight Cowboys. This is, I think it's only available if you rent it right now, but it's going to soon come out. I just watched this, finished it up this morning, as a matter of fact. And it was just how an X-rated movie made it to the Academy Awards because people changed. The society had changed, and we were just more tolerant of all of this stuff. And so it set the stage for gritty New York City movies. And it was just of its time, and it captured its time, and that's why it was so popular. And then finally, Moving On, which is a revenge movie with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. and they go to a friend's funeral, and Jane walks up to the widower and says, "I'm not here to mourn your wife, I'm here to kill you." And so
Oh.
if anyone
Oh,
saw
good.
Sisters, it's kind of like a combination between Sisters
Oh, yeah,
and-
yeah.
and then Jane and Lily. And I think that's on Netflix.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
my
it
list.
advertised, yeah.
And I sent that to Jeff so he can send it out, but go ahead, Donna.
What I saw was Rabbit Hole. That was with Kiefer Sutherland. And that was, yeah, the more I got it's a series, and I think it's all out now. It might be old. I don't know how old it is, but it's about what's the United States and AI, and how one company is buying all the data and using it against Americans, and people are going to try to stop it. And that's pretty much what it's about. And it's really interesting, because Rabbit Hole is the, people taking conspiracy theories and then just going down the rabbit hole with them. So that's an interesting one too, I thought. What else?
Parts of that. It is kind of Kiefer Sutherland-oid. He does intense things where it's hard to figure out who's doing what.
Yeah, yeah.
And his dad.
Like 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 24.
Yeah, I like 24. And what was the other one? Designated Survivor, all those.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what else? I
finished
something else.
watching The Americans, and I really enjoyed that. It's like after I was done watching it, it's about Russian spies that are implanted into DC. And after I got done watching it, there's a lot of really good YouTube videos about how these are all based on real events that happen. I just thought it was real well done, and amazing some of the things that happened too. But that was a good series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think things are going to get thin here when if the writers and the producers and everybody don't get together on the strike.
Well,
This
I don't
last
know.
couple of weeks while we were on hiatus, it was a good opportunity for me to catch up on some things, but I'm starting to wonder. It doesn't look like a lot of new stuff is really coming out. I mean,
No.
oh,
There's
I also
something-
wanted to mention that AMC, who they did Dark Winds, and they do Night of the Living Dead and some other things. They reached an agreement with on the writers' strike and the actors, and so a lot of their stuff is on Max right now. I know Dark Winds is one that I got into a while back, and I'm going to get back into it because it's on HBO Max. But they're the only group of content creators who stream that have reached an agreement with their streaming folks, and they're willing to pay it. And HBO's picked them up, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way this gets resolved. It'll be one at a time.
Yeah.
There's so many different ones that they're probably not going to get them all together on one day, but they're going to dribble out. So if you want to watch, like Night of the Living Dead 25th season, where what's his name, Norman Reese gets on his motorcycle and goes to Greece, you can do it right now. You don't have to wait.
Just wait till Thanksgiving. I bet things get resolved by Thanksgiving, because they'll be slamming the movies in before the end of the year so that they can be nominated for the awards, the Academy Awards. That's my guess.
That's a good guess.
Oh, thank you.
I know we're gonna go see The Equalizer pretty soon, and I'm looking forward to that one with De Niro. That's going to come out, I think, in October. So there's a few coming out, but they're not coming out they're not coming out. And actually, the one with De Niro, that's going to be kind of a blockbuster. It's been, you know, they've been waiting on that to come out for a long time.
Are you talking
Haven't they
about
been-
Killers of the Flower Moon? Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah. The
that'll-
deal in
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
that was such a good book, I'm sure. If they do it as well as the book was.
But
That's gonna
haven't
be
they
good.
been popping that backwards till
I
the
don't know.
strike's over?
I mean,
Some movies have been punched on over to 2024, and they're just skipping the
Yeah.
award
Yeah.
season.
Wow.
Dune 2 did that.
Yeah, but nobody cared.
should be pretty amazing.
All 18 guys that went to see it before are going to be disappointed that they have to wait until next year to do it again. Yeah. To get their sand suits out and go to the movies.
Oh my God,
It's a
Aaron.
good thing we don't have feedback from our 8 listeners, because some of them
Yeah.
probably Dune 2 people.
Well, they don't get much every episode, you know, so
Right.
we had a gap.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you know, this whole group was kind of based on classic movies anyway, because when we started doing it during COVID, nobody was going to the movies anyway, and so we were picking out all these great classic movies, and no reason to not keep doing that for a while. You know, that's
Sure.
the great thing about movies is there's an endless supply, really.
You
Mhm.
recall what was the first
Mhm.
movie you guys watched? You remember?
I can look at my
Do
cheat
not.
sheet.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead, look at your cheat sheet, because I couldn't
Yeah.
remember.
You
It'd
can't-
be interesting.
you
Yeah,
can't-
I'd be curious. to know.
Casablanca.
What was it?
We haven't done Casablanca yet.
You haven't? Oh,
No.
my. Oh,
Mhm.
my.
Oh, let's
Well, I know it's coming now in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We-
You got
we-
that right.
We've not done
Midnight in
much
Paris.
Bogart at all.
Yeah, no Bogart at all.
I know the very first movie we had was the Adam Sandler movie. Gary picked it.
Oh yeah,
Which one?
Diamonds,
The Jewels
the jewels.
Thief.
Oh, I picked that
Uncut
one.
Gems.
Uncut
picked it?
Gems.
Yeah,
Uncut Gems, yeah. That was your first?
I think
yeah.
so.
Really?
It
Huh.
was one of the first modern movies we did. I don't know about if it was the first classical one we did. You know, remember the movie Man Called Ove? That was
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
one that I picked early on. I happen to remember, but it was the Swedish version.
Yeah,
The same thing that Tom Hanks did. It was kind of
right.
Midnight,
Yeah.
Midnight in Paris.
Oh, that, yeah.
Jeff, that was one of Jeff's.
Love that. Yeah.
Little Big Man. That was one of Jeff's too.
That was a classic. There you go.
Hey, we must have not been picking in any order back then, because that was 2 weeks in a row. And then
Well, I thought Mark did that one.
maybe
Little Big Man.
No, was that yours,
yeah.
Jeff?
I picked that one. That's been a favorite of mine forever. Yeah.
I thought
Okay,
you did.
okay.
and then Mike.
That's one of my favorite Dustin Hoffman movies too.
Me as well.
Me too.
It's almost like Forrest Gump, only it's in 1880.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then Mike Matson picked The Rider. Remember The Rider?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good one.
Mike Sanders picked The Manchurian Candidate.
Candidate. The old
The
one or the new one?
Yeah, the original.
The original.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Bob picked Three Burials at. That's all I have. Three Burials.
Oh yeah, that's a
Tommy Lee
Tommy-
Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones thing.
Mhm.
Three Burials at
Yeah, it's a good one.
Mexican City.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like Terry's first one was The Misfits.
Ah,
Oh, Maryland.
Gable.
Maryland, of course.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you
Definitely.
start out the gate picking a couple of Marilyn Monroe movies? Seemed like he did.
I'm not sure what my second one was. I can come up with one for my pick next week if you'd like.
Well, you got to
How
come
about
up.
Bus Stop?
Let's see. Panic in the Street. Panic in the Street. Does anybody remember? It doesn't have a name.
Yeah, I did that one. That was a film noir about an outbreak in New Orleans. And it starred Richard Whitmark as a health inspector.
yeah.
It's from like 1954.
Oh,
We were going through
yes.
COVID. I just thought, well, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's have Panic in the Streets. Come on.
Yeah.
How appropriate.
This stuff happens over and over again.
Then
Yeah.
Mike Matson picked The Last Black Man in San Francisco. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Like that.
I
Yeah.
never saw that.
Lucky pick. French Lieutenant's Woman.
Oh,
That
that
was-
was
yeah.
good. Oh, that's really good. One of my favorites.
The Player by Robert Allman. That was
Oh, another real good one.
That was mine.
Charlie Wilson's War.
Yeah.
Get
Who picked that one? I don't remember watching.
I don't have a name on it.
That was Whitaker or
I think it
you?
was.
I think it was Whit.
Yeah. It's a good flick though.
Yeah.
Revenant.
Mhm.
That was,
Hoffman, Philip Seymour
DiCaprio.
Hoffman, in Charlie Wilson's War was great.
Yeah.
Maybe that was my. Yeah, maybe. Did you pick that?
Not me.
Mahoney?
I don't
No,
have a
not
name
me.
on
I
it.
wasn't in the group yet.
Were you in the group yet, Pete?
No, I came, Mike invited me in, so I came after Mike.
Actually, Bill invited you in.
Oh, and you were resisting.
I'm not in.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
There's only.
I did not offer a
only-
second film.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We didn't get a second
Thanks a
name.
lot,
I'm
friend.
sorry, Irish Mike. I didn't get the memo.
Take your background down, Pete.
Yeah, really.
Then
I spent 3 minutes doing that.
It shows.
let's see. Scent of a Woman. Guess who picked that?
Yeah.
Should be pretty easy. Yep. Honeyland. You remember that? Who picked it?
Yeah,
that's
me.
Matson. Yeah, that was the
Very
bee
interesting.
lady.
Yeah,
Okay.
The Mesopotamian wild bee lady.
yeah.
Then Sanders picked Network, I think. His name's not.
Right.
Do you think
Yeah,
you
that's a really good
Irish
one.
Mike? Irish Mike, do you think you were in there? Because it says Trial of the Chicago 7. It seemed like you were in talking about that.
Yeah, that was good.
That was just on Netflix, and somebody picked it. That might have been Whitaker, maybe, but I don't think it was.
Yeah,
me.
I did. Yeah, Chicago 7 might have been my first pick.
I
Oh,
was,
there you go.
That's what it was. Yeah, your first pick was, but we'd already
go.
had it as an alternate. And that's
Hmm.
when we clarified the rules that alternates could become picks.
Right.
Recommendations could become picks, yeah.
Then Moneyball,
Yeah, another good
That
one.
was Whitaker.
that was Whitaker.
I'm pretty sure that was Whitaker.
That
I
was.
thought that was Bill.
I don't remember picking that. The Guard. I don't even know that we even said we were doing it in alphabetical.
The Guard is that movie I was
Okay.
talking about in the 9/11 room, 911.
Oh, that's it.
This guard is the one that Bill picked. Your son told you about it or something. It was a foreign movie about this lady that
in Ireland, right?
checked
Don Cheadle.
Who was it?
Don Cheadle is in that, is he not? In the Guard?
No, this was like a Danish movie or something.
Oh, okay.
Of a
Different
lady
guard.
that would check people as they came in on a ferry from
Oh, okay.
one place to another.
Okay, everybody should know who picked this one. The Queen's Gambit.
First and only
Terry.
series we've done.
First and only series,
Awesome.
yeah. We had to watch the whole series. and
We
then-
said-
That was fabulous. It was fabulous. I
good.
wasn't part of the group, but it's a great series.
Mhm.
I mean, I think Terry came in and he said something like, I know it's a series, but it was really good, so we got to watch it. And so we did.
It was.
It was worth it.
fabulous.
You know, I think they're doing a sequel on that, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I just read that a couple of weeks ago, thinking, how could they sequel that? But yeah, that's what I
Bishop's
read.
Gambit.
Yeah. Knight's Gambit. Yeah.
But then the next week was Some Like It Hot. That seems like that had to be Terry too.
Oh my God, that's Monroe.
I think that was Whitaker's.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
That's good.
The Imitation Game, that was mine. I remember that.
That's good too.
Annie
These are all good classics.
And then Irish Mike joined the group and we watched
John Wayne.
Waking Ned Devine.
Yeah.
Waking Ned Devine. That's great. That's
that
such a
was
good one.
that was November 30th,
Male?
2020.
Wow.
So you've been in for almost 3 years, Mike.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good one.
Blind Spotting. I think that was my pick.
For us here.
What's Terry showing us here?
Ah, okay.
What is
The
it?
What is it?
Subversive
Yeah.
Underground.
Well, you guys, I don't really like gossiping, and that's what this is. But
It's not gossip. That's
for the
Black and
North
white.
Kansas City people, Sean Birmingham is hiding in the jungles of the Big Island and is awash in conspiracy theories.
You're kidding me.
So Chris got some that, who is it? Jerry
Jerry Crane
Crane.
Landsberg.
got some stuff from Sean, sent it to Chris. Chris is sending it to me.
What's the
Kind of
basic
a-
conspiracy?
What?
Pete, remember Greg Birmingham? He just lived 2 houses up from you. That's Sean's brother.
No, Mark lived 2 houses
Mark,
up from
yeah.
me. Mark Birmingham. Yeah.
Right.
Is this a sibling?
Yeah, it's his little,
Yes.
And this is a conspiracy theory about the Maui fire.
No, this is, I have no idea. I haven't looked at it, but
well, come on.
no, it's a bunch of other ones, bunch of other stuff, I guess. I haven't really looked at it.
Has to do with aliens.
Who knows? Chris can tell you. She's read them.
I haven't read all of it. I actually found it kind of turned my stomach a little bit. It's just ridiculous, subversive, underground, pardon my language, bullshit is what it is. But you be the judge.
Okay, let's give it to Chat GPT and make a screenplay.
It's just some of the stuff makes you almost blush. It's awful. It's just awful.
It's part of the 911 stuff.
No.
Just
Just,
the other darker.
Yes, darker. Yeah, just I don't even want to get into it. I could read you the whole thing. I have a copy, but I don't find it entertaining in the least.
And so
Find it
I like what Edward Snowden said about conspiracies and conspiracy theories. The real conspiracies are right out there in the open.
Yeah.
They're not hidden. Citizens United, a conspiracy to buy the American government. Okay. And then to me, conspiracy is whatever.
Theoretically.
Is a waste of time because you don't know and you never will. So why waste any of your energy thinking about that stuff? You'll never know. And you just, it's paranoia. And, it's like, I try to ask people, like, why do you even spend any time thinking about these things? If it comes out someday, you will know, but why would you waste any of your energy now? So, the real conspiracies are right out in the open.
is
So,
Sean a bad guy now, or
what?
is that what the deal is? Is Sean a bad guy?
I don't know, but maybe just, I don't think so.
I think it's called the rabbit hole. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With stuff
Or
that-
he
Guys,
could
I
become
gotta go.
an
My
air marshal.
Internet is terrible.
It's all he said, she said information that
I
I've heard, and
I did find Pete's first pick. Does
I know
any-
what it is.
Does anybody want to guess when it was and what it was?
I know what it was.
And
I picked
Aaron
it.
Rodgers is already injured, by the way.
Oh, really?
Hey,
I give
I
up.
mean, I know what it is, but I'm looking at it.
Plus.
I'd be curious when it was. I don't know how long I've been in the group.
It was Apocalypto,
Right.
Oh,
and it was on 4/12/21.
Okay.
So
Huh.
about 5 months after Mike got in, Pete got in.
You mean after Mike resisted including me in the group and then you prevailed and had me come in anyway?
We got voted in.
And on your birthday too, Mike. Good
Me-
Lord.
Me and
You
Matt
know,
voted for you. Everybody else abstained.
if I could have got a second that day, all this could have been avoided.
for the lack of a second.
I mean, Apocalypto, come on.
Well, if you'll excuse me, folks, I need to delete my background screen.
he
guys, I
also
got to
picked,
go. I'll see you
Fist
soon.
and Fire.
Hey, safe travels, Mike.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate it.
All
Take
right, guys.
care.
Mahoney, I'll
Thanks.
talk to you later.
Thanks for the movie, Jeff Arthur.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, it was entertaining.